بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. I welcome you in this online class and I hope you all are fine. This is your science book. Open your book, come to page number 5, and here we are going to read unit number 1, things around us. Topic name is living and non-living things. Okay. So we can find many things all around us, and the earth in which we live has made up of many several things. Okay, and these things can be categorized into two parts, two types, living and non-living thing. Okay, in living thing we are two types of living thing, plants and animals. Non-living thing can be categorized in two types, natural and man-made. But natural, what are natural things? Those things that are made by nature are called natural things. So, and what are man-made things? Those things that made by man are called man-made things. But plants, animals, human beings are also natural things. Okay? In this, we are only going to learn about non-living natural things like mountains, rivers, stones, soil, etc. And what are man-made things? Chairs, desks, pencil, marker, book, etc. Okay? Now, in the previous class, we have covered plants and animals. Now, let's take a quick review of this chapter. Okay? Now, what are living things? Things can be identified as living if they are having these characteristics. Okay, number 1 is breath. All living things take in breath to stay alive. Okay? Now, keep your hand in front of your nose. Do you feel anything? Yes, it is air, and air is present all around us. Now, animals and human beings take in oxygen gas, okay, breathe in oxygen gas to stay alive. But what about plants? Plants breathe in carbon dioxide to stay alive, okay? Now, animals and plants breathe through their nose. But what about plants? Plants have tiny pores on the underside on their leaves called stomata. Come to the next one heading, all living things can grow. Now, all living things can grow and die also. Let's take an example of plant. In the previous class, we have taken example of human. Okay, in this class, now let's take an example of plant. Okay, a seed becomes a plant and then it becomes a tree also. Okay, and plants may become a tree. Let's come to next one heading. Living things can move. All living things can move, like animals can walk and run. Human beings can also walk and run. And plants, what about plants? Plants are also show movement. Like let's take an example of mimosa. Do not touch me, okay? Now, touch me not plant. If we touch the leaf of this plant, it will immediately close. So the plants also shows the movement. Now what? All the living things need food to stay alive. All the living things need food to stay alive and get energy, okay, to grow, move, and it will keep us healthy. Plants make their, what about plants? Plants make their own food, okay, in the presence of sunlight, water, and air. Reproduce. Now, all the living things can reproduce their young ones or in form of lay eggs. Some animals produces their young ones and some animals lay eggs like elephants, cow, goats, etc. give birth to their young ones, but some animals like fish, hen, snake, etc. lay eggs and their baby hatch from their eggs. Come to this one heading sensitive. All living things are sensitive because they had to adjust themselves according to their environment. Okay? If they will not do, they can die. Come to this one heading excrete. When we eat food, it makes or produces waste material that has to be removed from their body, and this process is called the excretion. Now, what about non-living things? Non-living things do not have these type of characteristics. Okay? Now, look at here. Here we have words meanings. You have to do in your copy. Okay? You have to find out these words meanings on the portal. Look at here. Number one. Number one is breathe. The meaning of the word breathe is to respire. Number two. Number two is survive. And its meaning remain alive. Number three. Hatch. Hatch means opening. Number four. Energy. Energy means ability to do work. Number 5 is conditions. It is situations. Number 6 trap. Trap means to catch. Number 7 is grow. And grow means get bigger. Okay. Now come to page number 8. On page number 8, here we have exercise A. Answer the following questions. Question number 1 is name any 4 features of living thing. Now, as I have written on the board the characteristics of the living things, you have to write any 4 characteristics between them. Like living things can breathe, living things can grow, living things can move, and living things need food, living things can reproduce their young ones, okay, and living things are sensitive, living things can excrete. Now, you have to write only 4 features of living thing. Come to number 2. Question number 2 is, why do living things eat? Living things eat to stay alive, okay? And food gives them energy and this will help them to grow, move. Now come to question number 3. How do plants breathe? As I have told you that plants are having tiny hole at the underside of their leaves is called stomata. Now question number 4 is, what is a living thing? Now the things that are having these type of characteristics, a living thing is a thing that can breathe, grow, move, eat, reproduce, sensitive and excrete. These things are called living things. Come to question number 5. Name the 2 groups that living things are divided into. You have to name the 2 groups like as I have written on the board. The 2 groups are, number 1 is plant and number 2 is animals. Okay, the living things are divided into 2 groups. Number 1 is plants and number 2 is animals. Okay, now this one, exercise B, is your book work. Question is fill in the blanks. As we have done in the previous class, these fill in the blanks. Okay. Living things breathe in a gas like oxygen in order to live. Living things have a cycle, life cycle, and living things fish breathe through gills. Living things are sensitive to light. Living things have internal movement and external movement. There are about 2 million varieties of living things. Come to exercise C. Here we have T and F means true and false statement. And number 1 is all living beings eat the same type of food as we have done in the previous class. Okay. Now look at here. These true and false statement, and here we have a project on page number 9. This was your homework. Okay. Now complete your homework at your home. Look at here. Here we have to draw a picture of a natural thing like tree, mango, Group number 2, man-made goods made from living things. Pencil, pencil has made from the tree. And look at here we have a book. Okay. So in this chapter we have learned about things, okay, living thing and non-living thing. There are two types of things, living thing and non-living thing. And there are furthermore two types of living things, plants and animals. And we have divided non-living things into two categories, natural and man-made. Okay, these are the characteristics of living things, and these are the thing, how can we identify a thing is a non-living? If a thing has do not have these characteristics are called non-living things. Okay, and these are the words meanings you have to do in your copy, and the question answers and the exercises matching etc you have to do in your copy. And that's all for today. Okay, if you have any query or question related to this topic, you can ask me on WhatsApp. Now, stay safe, stay at home.